My neck, my back, my pussy and my crack.
Oh, what's up, everybody? We didn't even plan that. I have no idea what she's talking about, but I know her back hurts. Don't know how your chair can fuck the pussy and the crack, though, but it's all good. I'm not going to judge you on that, Jet, at all. But you know what's pussy and crack does not hurt, though? Alan Shakazine, how you doing, good sir?
I'm doing good, despite that weird-ass fucking intro.
I know, we always have weird intros, but I do enjoy those intros very, very, very much. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was listening to the show yesterday, and I got to tell you, I have been fucking up my words a lot lately, dude. I think I've, like, took over, like, the new spot, like, where Ganja's, like, you know, messing up words and kind of, like, fucking things up a little bit. I think that's me now. I think I'm just going to, like, say everything completely fucking wrong for the continual duration of our show from now on.
So what else is new?
Yeah. Ryan says, good old dyslexia. Okay, what happened? Did someone fuck up? I think I did something wrong.
Dyslexia.
Yeah, that's what you said, right?
You said dyslexia.
You don't want your dyslexia. You know, how about that, motherfucker? Gary Eakin, thank you very much for sharing our shit. I don't know what the fuck that means at all. But, yeah, dude, I'm really glad you guys are over here hanging out in the chat today. Today is the review that Double Toast is doing. Is going to be Leprechaun in Space, Leprechaun 4. At some point, man, we got to watch all those fucking movies, Alan.
I'm not watching the Leprechaun movies.
Why not?
For people that don't remember, 2 years ago, we watched the Halloween one, the After Hours, the original one. Wow, like, Halloween 1, yeah, fuck it. And secretly, I went and watched all of them like in like 2 days to basically do a surprise review for the entire franchise up to that point. And people enjoyed it so much that I said, fuck it, and went and did the same thing with Jason and Freddy. And never again.
Yeah.
I'm not watching the Leprechaun movies. I think they're garbage.
Me and Jill are probably watching them because I do want to show Jess some things. She shows me lots of animes that make me fucking cry, make me feel like shit and everything. We talked a lot about that yesterday on the show, but the thing
You're gonna make her watch a bunch of garbage fucking horror movies?
Oh yeah, and I'll make her cry with them. I'll make her cry with the terrible quality that is the horror movies from the 80s and early 90s and whatnot too. But people in the chat, Black Knight, what's up? Gary Eakin, Solidus, what's up, sir? Maya Soul is saying, what platform do you guys play Call of Duty on? On Cold War, I actually play it on a PlayStation. But the thing is, though, if you have your Activision ID, you can actually come over here and show us your ID. We can add you on there, and then we can all play no matter what platform you're on. That's the stuff that I really like about the current generation of Call of Duty that's been happening with Modern Warfare, and now it's happening now. To the point where we're actually, like, I'm going to show you guys something really quick. We're actually in the middle of a game. Right here. Granted, yeah, I know the chat's going right through the fucking screen of the video game or whatever, but I had to pause it, and we're not going to show any gameplay today, so that's why it looks like shit. But that's how much Call of Duty we're playing too, guys. Like, I literally had to, like, I'm doing clips for Corey, getting the show ready and everything. And one of our old co-hosts, 90s, is actually playing with Jet and just fucking destroying this entire map of Call of Duty Outbreak. And I gotta tell you guys, it's a very, very fun game. If you're not a big fan of Call of Duty, which I understand at this fucking point, Jesus Christ. But I gotta tell you, the Zombies mode here is probably one of the best zombie modes in a while. I don't know if you can agree with that, Alan.
I've not played the Outbreak one. The regular zombie mode is just regular stuff, but Warzone is... Anything that's like Warzone to me is fantastic, because I played a lot of Battle Royales, but like nothing comes close to just how much fun I had with Warzone, because it gives you the second chances. The gunplay for Call of Duty has actually like gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
It requires actual skill. Like when you're in a shootout, you have the actual skill in the shootout, but it requires you actually understanding the environment and everything there. So it's like, I want to know how that applies to zombies. I can't wait to try that out.
And that's a big thing too that I want to talk about really quick as well, because we're probably gonna be playing a lot of Call of Duty like in the next couple of weeks, whatever. Because apparently Season 2 is now ending, and they're actually gonna have a storyline that's based on the ending of Verdansk. I guess he might take that out. I don't know how they're gonna handle that, because I do like Verdansk as a map. That's kind of like the general.
They're most likely gonna sit there and be like, "Hey, we're gonna do another map that's probably the same size or whatever," and that way you can cycle it. Because at the end of the day, it's like Warzone isn't just we're popular, trendy, cool, let's do it. It's staple now.
Yeah.
It was so popular that, and they made so much money off it. Activision's like, why don't we just keep it around? Like people are playing the same map. We could just do one big map every 2 years, and everyone's going to cycle through that. We combine it with the zombies, everyone's going to like it. It's now its own game mode. And they're seeing a lot of stuff like Warframe and Rainbow Six Siege and For Honor and other games where they're like, hey, these games people bought once like 5 years ago, but they'll keep buying stuff because they enjoy playing the game.
Really quick too, Jet, what are your feelings on Call of Duty right now? Because I know you're playing a lot with us, but I think, it's because, we're all friends, we're just having fun shooting shit, talking and playing games. But do you feel yourself kind of like, what have I been missing with this whole franchise as of late?
I mean, I'm not thinking back that far.
Okay, which makes sense. But yeah, in the chat though,
But I mean, I am having fun right now. But I mean, that's not enough for me to just go back and play previous Call of Duties. I refuse.
Fuck no. Honestly, as somebody that's played, I don't want to say I played most, but I played about 60%. You can ignore all of them. Most of them are fucking garbage. I have a personal hatred for Advanced Warfare because it ruined my favorite fucking game mode in the entire series. But this one, the reboot, like I didn't think I honestly avoided it. I didn't play it at all. And then Warzone came out, and he's like, "Well, try out Warzone. It's fun, Call of Duty." And I'm like, "No, I will not. You know what I will do? I will play Battlefield 5 instead. A much superior game." Fuck.
yeah.
I was so disappointed. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me just try out Warzone. Okay. I like the shooting. The shooting is good.
Yeah. No, it's fucking awesome, man. And it sucks that Battlefield hasn't done a whole lot lately as far as like making up for the lack of quality that was in the other game. So.
They had their battle royale. It fucking sucked. It got forgotten about. And literally, people forgot about Battlefield. Like with Call of Duty, like they were doing all this thing. Battlefield, like who fucking talks about Battlefield?
Yeah, which, I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like, I feel like that's an issue just for the franchise in general, even though if you're a fan of the franchise. I think it's like, it's kind of bad considering the fact that, like, if you're not a person who is still talking about that franchise just because they had a bad game and they haven't come out with something new, it's like, no, that kind of, like, reveals that this franchise was shitty in the first place, which I don't fully believe that that's going to be the case right now. I think that with the Corona going on, maybe they had something that was kind of planned to come out, and they're working on, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and probably adding things to Battlefront 2. EA has gotten a lot of shit, and I don't know if
that wasn't DICE. DICE was, that was Respawn. The guys,
really?
No, was it Respawn? Yeah, I think it was the guys that make Titanfall for some fucking reason. DICE essentially went quiet after Battlefield 5, and there was a lot of controversy leading up to it, but at the end of the day, the game it was just not a good game. So despite all the controversy, everything going on...
It says their DICE right here, right?
Yeah, but DICE didn't make... that's Battlefield V. You said Fallen Order. Fallen Order was made by a different developer.
Oh, okay. But no, because I thought they were all, like, underneath EA.
Oh, yeah, they are, but it's like...
Because
the guys that make Titanfall... Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, because I was going to say that the money is the most important part as far as making the game, in some ways, right? Because, like, they got to, like, make sure to finance whatever the plan is as far as creatively. So I'm thinking, like, if EA is not willing to, be Papa Bucks and, put the money down, then they're probably going to be like, hey, like... EA is like, let's be careful. They're gonna put the money towards Star Wars. People still think that shit's cool until it's not. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, but you're probably right too. I don't know too much about EA or DICE or Battlefield, but I do say that like, it's not good that all of a sudden like one bad game comes out and all of a sudden like, oh, let's not really talk about it. I hope that that's not the case, and maybe like in a year or something they're gonna come out and just fucking kill it because
That's the word I heard, and I don't know if this is a rumor or speculation. But they're like, DICE is basically keeping quiet on it on Battlefield 6 because they want it to be like a next-gen exclusive. They want it to be PS5, Xbox Series X, PC, because they want to push their maps, visuals, their engines to essentially make it so that it's going to be a PS5, Xbox Series X game. So they're like, well, we're gonna work on the game, we're gonna build on it, and we're gonna wait for people to buy the fucking systems, which makes a lot of sense because Battlefield 4 is fucking atrocious on the 360. That's where I got it. That game runs like shit. That game looks like shit. It plays like shit. On the PS4, it was fucking amazing. And the Battlefield 1, this was the best one. Straight up, it is the best one. So if they're like, hey, we're going to take our time to make sure we can do this for the next gen, okay, I'm fucking down for it. That's probably where I'm going to get it. But I'll get my PS5 to play Battlefield. And don't say that's crazy because I literally got my PS4 to play Battlefield.
Yeah, really quick too, I just want to tell you guys, I want to do a couple updates. For one, since Blasian Michael's in here, I do want to do some updates that are literally for his, what he's curious about only. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But before we do that, a good segue to get into it is, for those of you that are not subscribed and you guys are going to see the commercials come up soon, whatever, just want to let you guys know that all that money from the subscriptions that you guys give to us is going to go directly to this stuff. So we got some emoticons over here too, or emojis. I don't even know what the fuck they're called anymore, right? But but we're doing a completely new setup. I mean, there's even some stuff that's been worked on that we're actually going to get in a couple of days. So, as far as you guys having this over here too, you also got these that you're going to be getting as well to use in other, chats on Twitch and everything. But also too, it's like, I guarantee you by May or June, like everything's gonna be completely fucking different, and I cannot wait for that. But I just want to let you guys know that you guys can be reminded that we're doing shit like this. But the biggest thing I want to actually kind of do an update with is Blasian Michael has somewhat been on Ganja and Alan's ass a little bit sometimes. He'll be like, "Hey, where's that fucking thing? That blah blah blah." Like
I want to say this. I want to call out Blasian right now. Literally, we had a company meeting, and I told him, "Yo, guys, we gotta get this fucking audio stuff up because one of the fans is consistently asking me." and do not take that as a criticism to you. Thank you. Like legitimately,
seriously, thank you so
thank you. Because that was the motivation to keep fighting, to basically like, hey, I'm getting people asking, we're doing this. Like, I'll do it myself if I fucking have to. Like, we're getting this shit caught up. Like, the YouTube stuff is going a little slower right now because there's so many different videos to upload, but that's going to be ready soon. So it's like I do want to thank you, Blasian, and everyone else that's been helping out. But like, you've been on our asses, and we need that more often.
Yeah, so seriously, no, I really appreciate that. You know, I'm not any part at all with Metropolis, but I do want to see that succeed. And Alan does have a vision, and he might not tell you that, and he might not want to like take a lot of credit for things. But I'm telling you, like, I want to see what Alan can do with this fucking thing. I do think that there's a bright future for Metropolis, moving forward. And if you guys, help him out, fucking go over there, support Alan and what he does over there too. I think it's going to be a pretty cool thing. Not to mention the fact that whatever Alan's doing with them is completely different than what we do over here. So you guys get to see him kind of flap his fucking wings and do whatever he's doing. So yeah, definitely do that, Metropolis Collective. And we'll talk about that more when we end the show and everything. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And another update I want to put out there too. Tomorrow, Wednesday, is going to be our big fucking anime review day, as well as some reviews I want to do. I'm going to be doing a couple of reviews that are not necessarily anime. It's going to be anniversary reviews. I'm curious what you guys think they might be. So if you guys want to, you can guess in the chat. And I'll let you know if you're right or not. But a big thing here is Demon Slayer. Alan finally fucking finished this thing. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about that. It's going to be fun to shit.
I actually have like 1 or 2 episodes left. Literally, I was watching it beforehand. Tomorrow, for sure, short of me getting shot, we will watch it.
Yeah, no, it'll be cool as shit. And then hopefully by Thursday or maybe even Saturday or whatever the case may be, I'm going to be finishing up Pacific Rim the Black. I've been really wanting to watch
you started watching that shit? I heard it was bad.
I heard it was bad too, but I mean, I do want to check it out, so we'll see what the fuck happens. But
I'll try to watch a couple episodes. Like, I don't know if you want to review the whole thing, but like, how many episodes is it?
I believe it's 8. I can't remember, though. I could be wrong. But that's like usually like what they do for shows on Netflix, but since it's an anime, you never know. But yeah, I can't wait to talk about that, especially, and I think that you, Jed, were talking with Blasian in the chat about Hunter x Hunter and like Nen and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, dude, like I can't wait to talk about Hunter x Hunter again. So we might talk about that tomorrow. I can't really promise that, but
yeah. I still remember season 2 fairly well, and would love to talk about it.
Yeah. So I saw a couple of guesses in the chat. You guys are not right, but if you all throughout the show, if you guys keep guessing, I will let you know if I finally see that you guys are right. Brightburn saying, can you see the similarities between Star Wars Episode 4, 5, and 6 and the Mass Effect video game trilogy? Absolutely, I can.
Can I talk about that? Can I please talk about that for Brightburn?
Absolutely.
Because that's something. For wondering why I'm so excited about this is I'm literally playing through Mass Effect 2 right now, and I think the Mass Effect series is probably one of the best franchises out there that fell off really fucking hard, much like a lot of really monumental, inspirational franchises. But the Star Wars isn't the only example. It's also Star Trek. If you play the first Mass Effect game, and maybe it would be able to back me up on this, it's more of a Star Trek game than it is Star Wars. You go to these different colonies, and you're doing a lot of diplomacy, and you're doing a lot of your dialogue options to figure out this information, to try to do to basically talk your way through a situation to get to something that's not necessarily exclusively just violence. Now, there's always the action sequences, but there are ways you could talk your way through, or you could be the biggest asshole in the world and just go guns a-blazing. Like, that first one is very diverse with how you go about a lot of your actions. It's same thing with the color palette. It's a lot of whites and blues and bright colors and general, hopeful inspiration. The second one is Star Wars. It's all red. Literally, red is the most common color palette in this entire fucking game. It's dark, it's cringy. You're fighting, instead of fighting, random soldiers and pirates or whatever, you're fighting like criminals and mercenary gangs, and you're essentially more of a criminal this time around. And a lot of the stuff that they do feels very more Star Wars. You're going to the dirtier places in the universe. You're going to the underbelly. You're going to deal with more criminals and shit like that. So it's like the second game is very, very Star Wars, because it's like, yeah, you're dealing with you're not dealing with the bright, colorful, aristocrats. You're dealing with a lot of the criminal elements. How you yourself are technically working with terrorists. Yeah,
and I've noticed that just on the I guess not necessarily like the fan base or anything, but just kind of like the production value. I feel like this world, especially being in the galaxy or whatever the fucking, out there in space, those are some parallels that you can't help but notice. I mean, that's kind of being mentally lazy, but I do see that those things kind of connect. Jeb, what do you feel about that? Do you feel any parallels between Mass Effect and Star Wars?
Maybe a little bit, but like Alan said, it's a lot more like Star Trek than it is Star Wars. Maybe like in the maybe in Mass Effect 3 it starts getting more like Star Wars.
Yeah.
But Mass Effect 2 and 1 I feel are more Star Trek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And by the way, too, do you ever? 'Cause, I mean, I don't want to get too far outside. Actually, you know what? That's what I'll do. I'm gonna connect a fucking topic to this goddamn thing, because there has been some news that came out. I was reading about this. I was going around. Two people sent me this story, and I just found a better one from fucking Variety. So thank you to Ryan and somebody. I forgot who the other person was. But Star Wars Ewoks TV movies Boba Fett holiday special is apparently going to be on Disney Plus.
Oh, dude, I had a buddy of mine literally just text me that.
Yeah.
I wish he was in the chat right now, because if he was here, I'm not fucking watching that with y'all Saturday. Go fuck yourself.
And then next thing you know, he's watching, and then he's watching another episode of Riverdale.
Yeah, I know,
Oh,
right?
dude,
It's like
that
picking
happened
poison,
last
dude.
week. That happened last week. We literally went from watching The Shining to watching Riverdale. Then The Happening.
Yeah,
That was a weird
but
day.
really quick, so I'm gonna need someone to kind of inform me. I'm not really all that intellectually sound when it comes to Star Wars stuff, but Ryan says the Tartakovsky version of Clone Wars is gonna be on there. Now, I didn't know that he was connected to Clone Wars art, and I love that guy. He did Primal.
Yep.
He's done lots of
Samurai
other stuff.
Jack.
Samurai Jack, yeah. So that guy's fucking awesome. But I did not know he did Clone Wars. So is it way different, or like, am I missing
Yes.
something here?
Extremely, actually. So when episode 2 came out, they had their they basically, yeah, it was called, Attack of the Clones, and the TV show, surprisingly enough, didn't start till after the prequel trilogy ended. But what I can't pronounce his name either, Samurai Jack guy. I apologize for disrespecting his name, because he's a fantastic animator. He essentially did a small miniseries, like 8 episodes, 20 minutes each. That was essentially like bridging the gap between 2 and 3. And people loved it, from its art style to the action to seeing General Grievous. And he's very different than you see him in episode 3, where it's like, I am Jedi, rah, 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 killing people. He was like a serial killer monster, where the stuff he would do was brutal. Like, I can't believe Disney. Well, then again, this was LucasArts at the time, so it wasn't Disney, but like, there's some brutal shit going on. And some of the stuff that they get the people to do is fucking amazing, and people stand out as this is like some of the best Star Wars content. The thing is, I don't think it's technically canon anymore. I think they're sticking to the Clone Wars animated show, like the CG one, the three-dimensional one. But people still go, like, this is one of the best things that come out of Star Wars.
But one of the biggest things I want to ask here really quick is, do you feel like these particular Star Wars things are going to, drive numbers for Disney Plus? Because at this point, I think that as far as Star Wars goes, they want the mainline shit, and they also want Mandalorian. But this shit, this is just extra sprinkles. Like,
the fucking Christmas special, people are going to want the whole so bad it's good type shit. The Ewoks thing, I didn't know that existed till like a minute ago. So there might be Star Wars fans going, "What the fuck is this?" Watch it, like just to see what it is.
Star Wars and holiday special fills me with dread.
Yeah, and Jojo Cat,
never will.
I want to take advantage of this question. Jojo Cat says, "How long will Star Wars be milkable?" I'm going to ask you, Jet. Like, what do you think? And I know it's like, okay, well, she doesn't give a fuck about this anyways. But I think that's a perfect. Perspective. Is like, as she looks on the outside of the fandom of this shit, it's like, do you feel that this is about to run out of milk, Jet? Like, do you think that this shit's gonna be like, okay, no one's gonna give a fuck very, very soon?
When was the original Star Wars made?
1977.
Like
oh, she's gonna
say, it's been 40
I can already
fucking
tell what
years.
she's gonna say. She's gonna make fun of me like, Diaz, it's been 50 fucking years. They're not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, a lot of people love the original. Like, they're gonna keep milking the fuck out of Star Wars. This shit's gonna last a long ass time.
You know what, Jed? I have another question for you. How long do you think Disney's gonna milk Mickey Mouse?
There you go.
Because I think they're gonna run out of steam eventually.
Fuck you.
Forever, as long as they have fucking, as long as they got the fucking Disney name.
By the way,
Hasn't it been like
no
100
one's
years at this point?
Milky Mouse. Wow, holy shit. No one's milking Mickey Mouse. He's milking fucking Disney. He's the one in charge. He's the one that's like above
Yeah, last
everybody
I
else.
checked, he's not a cow. He's a fucking mouse.
Exactly. Like,
Mice have milk.
I said Milky Mouse. I'm so fucking stupid. Like, I hope
You are.
Jesus, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. This Star Wars, man, it's just a trend. It's gonna die in a year.
Well, no, but like, it did die for a while. Like, 1977.
It never died, actually. It just wasn't
In comparison to what
it
it
just
was.
wasn't mainstream. No. Because what happened is you had the original trilogy, and it slowed down. It started the extended universe. So that, as much as it wasn't making the billions that Star Wars is now, it kept the franchise alive. People were talking about it. There was games and animated stuff associated with it. A lot of games, actually, books, comics, all that shit.
But Disney
that
has
was
a big wallet, and they're able to put lots of money into getting these things particularly manufactured or whatever. But like, it's not necessarily like the entire audience is like, yes, more Star Wars, more Star Wars. It was
but it doesn't saying the Marvel. That's like saying the Marvel universe. Marvel wasn't big prior to the movies. They were a
But
huge
Marvel
comic.
movies weren't.
Marvel movies weren't, but Star Wars movies were kept in syndication, and that's even before the prequels, because they had the extended universe and all that shit was like, holy shit, but we're working all these, different stuff that kept the franchise alive, that kept money going on. That's why so many games were being made, because of the fact that the extended universe that was fan made, but then actual like comics and books happened. And then George Lucas said, well, I'm gonna make Star Wars because people clearly want Star Wars. Made the prequels, and even though they're almost notoriously hated, made $1 billion a piece, which then launched more games and more animated TV shows. We're still getting animated TV shows. Rebels finished?
I do not know. I remember it was like season 3, season 4. I mean, I could be wrong too, by the way, guys. So like, if I'm wrong, please let me know. But like, yeah, I could have sworn it was already kind of done. And plus too, like, I don't know how long. Oh, they ended 3 years ago. I didn't know that. I thought it was still current.
And they ended 3 years ago, probably when the movies were coming out. That man, holy shit, I've never seen. I've never seen something kill a brand so fast. Like, the brand's still going. They managed to rectify it with Disney Plus, but holy fucking shit! It's like Disney said, "How can we fuck up this like monumental franchise that literally prints money?"
But like, here's the thing, and I don't want to go on a huge back and forth. So if you disagree or you don't see my point, then it's all good. But like, one of the things I want to bring up, because someone brought it up in the chat too, and this is a fucking amazing segue, is like, when they had shit going on with Knights of the Republic, whatever, it wasn't because Star Wars was fucking huge at the time. It's because it's a legitimately good game. I think that like, when it has situations like this come out, and BioWare or whoever the fuck was making the game, I forget. So once again, I'm probably wrong. But
it was BioWare, yeah.
But like, that's because like, that's the shit that kept it going and kept it like within the zeitgeist of people's brains or whatever. But like, it wasn't because the movies were good or like the franchise in general. It was because other things were just good in different kind of layers or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
but again, Star Wars is asking when they're gonna milk it. Like, how long are they keep milking it for? They did. There were more movies coming out, but one of the things that we talked about, we literally talked about this yesterday, how Avatar got forgotten about because they never, except for like one game and maybe like a comic here and there, they never did anything with that world building after that first movie. They essentially just forgot about it. Until, hey, get excited for Avatar 22 in 20 fucking years. Mm-hmm. But Star Wars never stopped. It's still going out. They're still doing comics. I think because even before the acquisition, they were still doing comics like up until the acquisition. And now they're doing even more stuff where they're not necessarily connected in the Marvel universe, but it's Marvel branded because Disney owns Marvel in the comics. But it is never really stopped. They're even doing new books and new stuff here. And now with The Mandalorian being popular, they're like, hey, fuck it, we're doing all these TV shows, and EA doing the games, and hey, who could kill the French? Who could kill the Star Wars video games? None of the EA. Fuck.
Yeah, no, that's kind of amazing that EA was able to even get somewhat people in general just being like, hey, you know what? I'm not buying into that thing that literally everybody's fucking putting their money into. It's like, wow, that's kind of amazing. But I will say though, it's like Jedi Fallen Order has gotten people talking a lot more about these kind of things, and like. So as far as them fucking up there, as far as the video game universe, whatever that case goes, it's like it's starting to kind of, pick back up. And I feel like those things should get the credit that they get for their particular platform, but it shouldn't be, credit given to the entire franchise, because I do think, I know it sounds ridiculous when I said that earlier, like, hey, do you feel like the milking is going to run out soon? But I see it happening, because before The Force Awakens, the reason why 2016 was fucking huge, it was like a big like, oh my god, they're back, Star Wars is back, because it's been fucking 10 years since people took the shit seriously. The last time I remember Star Wars being taken seriously was like when I was super young. I was like fucking 5 or 6 years old. And that was when the prequels began, I believe. I could be wrong.
Probably. It's been about 20 years, but again, I fundamentally disagree with you, because people were excited because, yes, it was the first time we had a movie, but people have had versions of content up until then and afterwards forever. Like, people are, people wouldn't have been as excited or as willing to sit through all the prequels if there was an entire extended universe to which people are like, why did you grab this? Why did you grab that?
Yeah, because, by the way, what was that thing? Because I want to look this up. I want to show a visual about, like, all the shit that's coming out soon. Wasn't there, like, a Disney investors meeting or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a picture. I'm going to look this up.
Look it up. I'll explain to a video talk. But basically, there's an investor... Okay, cool. Yeah, there's an investor meeting, like, a couple months ago, where they're like, hey, we're outlining all TV shows from both Marvel and Disney and Star Wars and stuff like that. And there's a lot on the way.
Yeah, so here it is. Rangers of the New Republic, Bad Bitch. Oh my god, Bad Batch.
Yeah, dude,
Obi-Wan
everybody
Kenobi.
on the internet says that.
Well, I was making jokes like that before, but I fucked up. It's like, it looks just like Bitch. Like,
I know, the bad bitch.
Lando, which, goddamn, like, just
That one's gonna be
named her
fucking
name.
terrible.
Visions, Rogue Squadron, Ahsoka, I think that's gonna be cool. Andor, Acolyte, I think that's gonna be cool. But the droid story, that's so fucking dumb. Like, that's a lot of bullshit, dude. Come on.
Okay, so right now looking at it, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is going to be 6 episodes. It's going to be a miniseries. That's cool. You get to kind of, bridge the gap so we can complete this timeline. The Ahsoka stuff, that's going to be recent, so this is one of the first times we're extending. We're not sure exactly where it's set, but it's like, hey, it's going to be in between, the 20 years between the, the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy. So it's like, hey, you get a chance to kind of really extend it and see what happens. Like, did she survive long enough for the First Order? Whatever. Andor, I have no fucking idea what that's going to be. Lando's going to be fucking stupid. A droid story? The only way that would work is if it's a fucking 20-minute animated series where it's just it's like Robot Chicken but with droids. The only way you're pulling that off is this a 20-minute comedy.
Yeah, which could be cool. Like, if they do something like that, and they do something different. Mandalorian's different. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, yeah, for movie and media in general and shows shit in general, no, it's not different. But for Star Wars, it's very, very different. Ryan says,
it's very different. And before you read Ryan's thing, I want to jump off. Mandalorian's better than every Star Wars movie.
oh yeah, no, absolutely, it is. Because they're able to actually
Not even a
tell
question.
story.
But go read his stuff.
He says you say that, but they did a droids cartoon in the '80s about 3PO and R2. I do think that doesn't count though. Not to like. Because I don't want to like say, oh well, this fact is not a fact because we want to make our points stand strong.
Dude, nobody knows that exists.
Well, and also too, it's like I think now we have I think creators have a better sensibility about what's quality. I think back in the day, they just fucking threw everything out and put a logo on it, a stamp of fucking bullshit, and it's like, hey, it's licensed, so it must be good then, because people watch at home because nothing else to do. Nowadays, when you have internet and you have the phone and everything, if it's on TV, you don't have to fucking watch it. Back in the day, you had no fucking choice. Like, if kids are sitting down in front of the TV, Saturday morning cartoons, or whatever you put on there is going to get great viewership, and you can't tell whether or not something is shit. Until people grow up and they're able to do, like, reviews and criticize whatever the fuck that happened. But, like, for the most part, like, do you remember that? Like, as a kid, it's like, you don't watch something on TV and go, like, well, I guess I'll watch nothing to say this show sucks. Like, no, you're gonna watch it.
I actively watched Captain Planet as a kid, and I cannot explain to you why. I fucking hate that show, and I think that show is terrible. But I watched it.
Yeah, like Jed, I'm gonna ask you really quick. Was there something that you watched when you were a kid that you didn't like, but you didn't have any choice to fucking put something else on?
I swear there was definitely one, but it keeps slipping my mind. If I remember it, I'll interrupt or something.
Yeah, because like for me, I think lots of those things. Like for me, I hated the Animaniacs, but after Beast Wars and Pokemon, it was
bitch.
oh fuck that show, that fucking scene.
You're
Animaniacs.
historically wrong.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, well, that's why you're a misbehaving motherfucker, by the way. It showed you how to be,
Oh, and you're such a well-adjusted person with your Mortal Kombat.
I absolutely
legacy.
am. I'm absolutely my Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, you're
stuff.
such a well-adjusted person.
Yeah, I can control my anger well. I'm a nice, happy. God damn it!
I'll
be right back.
Literally couldn't have been better timing. Holy shit!
Someone mentioned Johnny Test in the chat. I wasn't forced to watch that, but damn, that was a terrible ass show.
I liked it, but to me it was weird because it's like, oh, we're trying to be like the Golden Age Cartoon Network type shows, but it was never good enough to be that, but it was also never interesting to be anything on its own. Like, I watch episodes, but I'm like, I don't like the art style, and I don't think these stories are that interesting. Phineas and Ferb went on better adventures.
It was okay when it was on another channel, and then Cartoon Network got it, and then I just found it got worse. All those fucking guitar riffs and the cracking of the whip they had every single fucking episode, and every episode seemed the exact fucking same.
You remember that way more than I do.
Like, oh, hi, Gil. We're in love. We're both in love with you. Oh, dude, this one dude who's in love with one of the sisters always coming by. Johnny always asking his sisters to do some experiment on him, or his sisters experimenting on him. Blah 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 blah. Oh my god, I
hated how they treated those two girls because it's like, oh hey, they're incredibly smart for their age and they're twins and doing all this stuff. I'm in love with a boy. It's like, oh, you fucking kidding me? Seriously? That's some goddamn respect.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, but like, yeah, dude, like, what the fuck was I gonna say though? Oh, like, Animaniacs. I feel like that was a fucking pretty bad show. I mean, I like the Pinky and the Brain stuff, but it is what it is. Yeah. But God, man. So what was the thing that you guys talking about? Because I think maybe.
Oh, John and Tess.
Oh yeah, I did not like that shit at all.
I tried to, but I could never get into it. Like I didn't like the art style, and their stories weren't that interesting.
Apparently, I would always ask every time this came on with new episodes, just who the fuck is watching this to where it keeps getting these episodes? Like, okay, maybe it's cheap to produce or something like that. And then on TikTok a couple days ago, apparently there's this big fucking group that actually really fucking enjoys Johnny Test. And the reason that they watched it was, one, they had a crush on the sisters. Two,
case?
That's it. They just had a crush on the fucking sisters.
What was it? No, right now, Mannery's like it basically Johnny Test is a poor man's Dexter's Laboratory. It kind of is.
Yeah.
Dexter's Laboratory was fucking fantastic. Like that's legitimately one of my favorite. I was watching that show. I was like, wow, being a scientist must be fucking cool. Like I'm watching that shit because it was like Dexter's the villain of that show. Like we just have to talk about that real quick. Dexter's actually the villain of his own show.
I could see that being the case too. Yeah. I think Pinky is not. He's probably guilty by association.
He's the genius.
Yeah.
Pinky is the genius.
Really quick though. Hate to fucking like change the subject too much because I mean we could talk all day about Pinky's Brain. I fucking love them. But
right.
But what's the show about the kid? It's driving me nuts. But the one where it's like the girl who likes him is like, "Hey, football head, you ugly motherfucker."
Oh, Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold, yes,
Hey
dude.
Arnold.
I watched a lot of this show and I fucking hated this goddamn show.
Oh my god!
Oh my God.
I was like for the first time, like, yeah, Nick, that show was great. No, that show fucking sucks. What is wrong with you?
This show sucks.
And in defense of him a little bit, when I was younger, I didn't like it either. Mostly because I couldn't really get into it where it really wasn't for me. But then as I got older, I actually started to really appreciate it and actually like it.
Yeah, but like here's another thing too, and people, I don't know what the fuck. If someone's gonna ask, like, who hurt you?
Who hurt you?
I don't know, and hopefully you guys can bring this up because there's a Green Day video that I brought up that has a lot to do with these two things I'm about to bring up. Yeah, you'll see. So look at Hey Arnold's head, nice and squished to the left to right. It's wide, it's kind of scary. I used to have bad dreams about heads like that. Another show that did this to me was Bobby's World.
What the fuck is Bobby's World?
Yeah, dude. That
you haven't seen Bobby's World?
No!
Dude, that shit's
actually, I can't really blame you for that because a lot of people haven't seen Bobby's World.
What the fuck am I looking at?
And then another thing, hopefully I can find this because it's in live action. But I mean, obviously Green Day is the thing, but I don't know where the fuck it's from.
Green Day's a band!
No, I know, but like there's a video where they have heads like that and it's fucking scary as shit. But also, and I love this movie I'm about to bring up, but Drop Dead Fred. That face, he gets smashed, and his face is like that for a little bit.
What the fuck is that?
It scares the fuck out of me.
What the hell am I looking at?
Drop Dead Fred is is a great fucking movie back in the day.
Is it?
What the fuck is that?
It's scary as shit. I know,
that
right?
That looks like someone went crazy with a sim.
Pretty much, yeah. No, this is a character you would make on fucking Ark. You know that shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But this show,
this movie in the chat, like, what the fuck is going on?
Look at that. Yeah, like he gets his fucking, because he's an imaginary friend. So someone, he does a lot of like sight humor, or whatever the fuck, gag humor. And yeah, his fucking head gets smashed, and he's just like, oh no, my face. Oh no. But he's doing that, and it's like, as a kid, I was like, no, his fucking head. Like it was, dude, it scared the shit out of me, man.
Oh, you know what? Now I just figured out what he looks. He looks like a fucking Cabbage Patch Kid.
Oh yeah, you nailed it. But the difference is this is live action. Like the animated, you can go away with a lot of bullshit. With live action, it looks fucking weird as fuck.
No, like Howard Stern. Oh my god, hey,
Howard
Arnold.
Stern. What?
I'm stupid. It's just.
No, I'm sorry. What?
We're gonna move past that.
No, we're not. No, we're fucking not. It's like Barack Obama. No, I mean Hey Arnold's friend.
Do you just call it Gerald Barack Obama?
Yeah, we're going down this fucking Howard Stern and Barack Obama.
Honestly,
kids.
My random was like I pressed square and got some random thing. Your random was like you must have had that
Are
in
you
the fucking
seriously
brain.
trying to like use me to get out of your drowning?
I'm just saying you tried to drown me and then you fell in the pool, son. I mean,
yeah,
I can swim. You can't.
I'm gonna sure you die.
Really quick, Ryan says answer the question. I'm gonna go and look at his fucked up. Oh no, he says so. Are you scared of Stewie's head or number one from Kids? I don't know what the fuck that is.
Kids Next Door to me was a show that was trying too hard to be good.
Yeah,
like, I enjoyed Kid Next Door, but it's mostly like I didn't like the adventures that went on because I think they're a bit too like whimsical for me. But I understood them. Dude. I like the characters.
Oh, so before anyone fights me, Kids Next Door is a poor man's Rugrats.
So I'm looking at this, and it looks like it, but like I'm looking at this, and as an adult, because of my first impression, it doesn't scare me. But I could see if I was a kid, this would have fucked me up, dog. That would have been bad. I do not
You have
like
a
white heads.
weird imagination.
Dude, someone in the chat too brought up like, hey, can we watch this in the after hours one of these days? The Drop Dead Fred thing, yeah, definitely we will at some point. And I did see the Sonic Critics review of it, and it was really good. But God, there was another fucking thing. I don't know. All I'm saying is, white heads are fucking scary, guys.
So someone had mentioned earlier in the chat, As Told by Ginger. I gotta say, I did not like that show when I was younger, but a couple years later, I absolutely loved it.
It was
I
all right.
love that show.
Yeah, these faces are not too bad. This doesn't bother me that much.
No, the faces were ugly. I don't know why her mouth. I don't know why they drew the fucking mouth on the chin like that.
Fucking
is this the same universe as
Is
that the same universe or the same fucking animation team as the Wild Thornberries?
Yeah, it does look like that.
Oh yes, it was made by the same people.
Why does it have crack mouth? Everyone has like fucking I've been on a binge mouth.
That's the worst part about the show. Like, why is our lips on their chins like that? Someone did an edit to where like they moved Ginger's mouth like to the actual proper placing on her face, and actually looked way better.
Yeah. Which cover says Mr. Meaty. Ooh. Oh my God, that is creepy as fuck.
I always saw commercials. I never watched it.
Hate.
This is fucking horrifying, dude. This is like shit.
Despise this fucking show.
I'm still mentally scarred from Mr. Meaty. If you watched that as a child, I'm so sorry. Yes.
This was just fucking Drake and Josh's fucking puppets working at the fucking mall at a meat place.
Miles says Mr. Meaty was weird, but the theme was catchy though. Yeah, dude. Man, some of these I want to watch at least one episode of just to remember.
Okay, that's not fair. Like, maybe one fucking 90s, early 2000s TV show that didn't have an amazing theme song.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up because this is not even slightly on topic, but I just need a reason to bring this fucking thing up because on top of the drawing and the animation and the amazing theme song and the great characters.
Well, how bad are you gonna go with this?
Jet, you're so fucking wrong about this show. Doug. Doug.
The show is terrible.
It's a fucking
Nobody
show.
likes Doug.
Doug bored the shit out of me.
By the way, you know why you don't like it, Alan?
What?
Because you're fucking Doug, bro. I'm sorry. You're Doug.
Yeah, I'm not his friend anymore.
Going over there trying to get Patty Mayonnaise, and you ain't gonna get the mayonnaise. I'm sorry.
Your name was Patty Mayonnaise?
I think so. I could be wrong.
God!
And then that guy over there, I forgot his fucking name, but like that's
Peter.
Me. Yeah, that's me. I'm just walking around like, hey, fuck you. I got my leather jacket.
Well, I thought Peter was the name of the.
That's what I thought he was pointing at, but he's pointing at the lame ass dude who's trying to be the Fonz.
Yeah, he's cool as fuck. He's amazing.
Oh, he's not. He's the biggest loser in the show.
You're a jerk.
I could not stand fucking Doug. That shit was so boring to me.
Ryan, I didn't know there was actually a difference between the Nickelodeon version and the Disney version.
I didn't like either.
A Disney version?
Yeah, I did not know. But all grown up. Oh, so this is kind of insane. Because I thought he was or this person was joking around. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, but he says is Rugrats all grown up. Whatever the fuck thing.
What a wasted potential. Holy shit. Because Rugrats was one of the most interesting shows. I loved that as a kid. It's all about childlike imagination and what a kid can go through when they're given room to just explore it. What crazy adventures they go on. And then they did the movies, which are horrifying.
I didn't mind All Grown Up, but I do think it had wasted potential. I do like how Susie and Angelica grew up, though. But everyone else was kind of like,
Yeah. And the thing is, I liked it. Yeah, there was an episode. The thing is, the reason that show existed is because in the original run of Rugrats, there was, I don't know if it was a season finale, but there was an episode called All Grown Up. And they did an episode of what happens when these kids grow up. So they're not babies, they're teenagers, 12, 13. It was fantastic. All of the personalities you got to see, as they matured. Tommy became an engineer like his father. Tricky was still very, very nervous. Angelica was the manipulative psychopath that she always is. So it was such an interesting concept, and it did so well with audiences. They said, "Fuck it, we're gonna make it." The problem is when they did the full series, you lose a lot of what made the show interesting, and you lose a lot of personality to become a generic Nickelodeon show.
Yeah, because by the way, too, I didn't know this, but right in the chat said that the same person who did those particular shows did Rocket Power over here, did the All Real Monsters. I've never seen that, but that's actually some pretty cool design.
All Real Monsters is a show I keep forgetting exists.
Yeah, and then also too Wild Thornberries, which you guys brought up earlier. And then I thought this was the case too. Maybe it's the writer of the story or whatever. But like they also did Rocko's Modern Life. I remember too, right?
Oh yeah, Rocko's Modern Life. That was a show I always confused with All Real Monsters because I couldn't remember if they're in the same universe or not.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. Gary says Doug was such a miserable character. He liked to make other people feel miserable, including his sister. Such a dull and an interesting character. No wonder it got canceled. I don't remember that particular part of it. Because I remember, like, it was like an not adult version, but like an older kid version of, like, Arthur. Because, like, Arthur went through a lot of shit and had, like, you know, I felt like he had a crush on friends
and family.
Yeah.
Arthur would beat Doug's ass.
Arthur wouldn't. What the fuck is an aardvark gonna do to fucking Doug a G?
He beat the shit out of his sister.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of want to bully Arthur. Look at this bitch ass and shit.
Yeah,
until he punches you.
Dude, look at his fucking. You see how weak this character is? Look at his knees being put together. Like, oh god.
And Doug's that much better, Mister. I'm gonna dream of myself as a superhero with fucking underpants on the back, on like.
Really, like fucking
outside
3
my
years
fucking
ago.
pants?
3 years ago, all you fucking nerds were like, "Oh, Captain Underpants," and then you get Doug doing fucking the underwear.
Captain Underpants is a fantastic comic, and I will fight you for
Oh,
disrespecting that.
What's amazing
name.
about the comic? That it's just a comic because it fucking doesn't do anything else that's different from anything else. Like, what the fuck?
Wow! I love how you never read it, and we're like, totally
I
know
did read
everything
it.
about
I read it while I was on the toilet. And I wiped my ass.
And also, they make fun of Captain Underpants. Like with Doug, you're not supposed to make fun of the fact he's wearing underpants outside of his fucking pants. With Captain Underpants, they're making fun of someone.
I'm just saying, like,
they knew it was stupid.
With Doug, they actually did something unlike the fucking DC people do with Superman. They actually gave him like a fucking like, hey, he feels like this, and when he feels bad about himself, he has no fucking self-intelligence.
These books are fucking amazing. I have them within arm's reach. They were interesting, retrospective, breaking down a satirical look at superheroes in general, and then they went crazy within their own universe, where we're still able to tell really interesting stories, well, within the minds of a kid, but also how it can affect the rest of the world. Doug was just a cheap imitation of this.
Let's not forget Captain Underpants is pro-LGBT because Harold ended up marrying a boy.
Look at these look. I have like 8 of these books. These fucking covers are awesome.
You do know that you're making that look really bad. I'm pretty sure if the creator was watching, he'd be like, dude, please put those down. You're fucking ruining my sales. Like, this is some nerdy.
I will just start reading them. Reading the sales.
Oh, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. And
I was about to say this.
I was totally about to say this too. I promise. Ryan says Doug came first. So Captain Underpants stole from fucking Doug.
Okay,
so
Captain Underpants.
And they stole the underpants outside the pants was stupid, and they made fun of it.
But Doug,
they made it better.
Doug
essentially. You realize how bad Doug was, and the creator was so pissed off. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna make a better version of it. And he did.
Doug ran so fucking Captain Underpants can fall on its stupid ass face.
You're just.
You know who's actually falling on their fucking faces? Doug, because his ass probably doesn't even know how to tie his fucking shoes with his scary ass.
Okay, but you know who doesn't know how to tie their shoes, but they're a great person too? Franklin. And that's another bone I want to pick.
Franklin would beat Arthur's ass.
Franklin was the shit. And every time I fucking listen to this
Franklin don't got shit on Arthur.
Yes, he does.
Franklin is amazing.
No, he fucking doesn't.
Oh, no. I can't listen to this. I'm gonna dig on this one. Franklin's way better.
I'm just saying, you talking shit about Franklin, those books were fucking amazing. They're
Franklin
easy to read.
taught me not to lie.
Oh, how dare you say
Franklin.
Boring ass Franklin.
Look at him wearing the fucking MAGA hat. Is this your king?
That's just a red cap. That's just a red cap, you psychopath. Little Bear.
Oh, Little Bear was great too. I fucking love Little Bear. They came
Little
right after.
Little Bear. Look at the bear steam pose.
Little Bear was alright. I like Little Bear.
I don't know what the fuck. What is Little Bear? Show me an image.
Yeah, this is it used to come on right after Franklin. I mean, granted, we have different fucking TV stations.
Yeah, this was okay.
I mean, it was one of those like, oh man, well, I don't have Franklin, but I guess I'll watch this now. It's one of those kind of shows.
Poor man's Arthur and Franklin, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. God, do you remember the
Little
wars?
Bear would beat the shit out of Franklin.
So
contest.
Franklin's a fucking turtle. He has a shell.
Yeah, so let's see them get into a fight. Automatically, Little Bear
wins. That's like saying who's gonna win in a fight. Freaking a random bear or Blastoise?
That's
Blastoise.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about Blastoise.
Yeah.
Trash.
So who's gonna win between a random bear and a fucking turtle? The turtle.
Well, maybe if fucking Franklin became a superpowered fucking turtle, maybe he'd have a fucking chance.
By the way, looking at Roly Poly, I did not watch the show at all.
Oh, this show was. I never understood why the show existed, and I honestly every time I saw television, I kept thinking I dreamed it up. It was fucking weird.
I was saying Max Ruby was cool, but Max pissed me off. I do not remember that show either. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like
that's one of those kid shows that came on. I think Nickelodeon, but yeah, Max was a little shithead.
But yeah, said you're like, damn, Franklin really did have that MAGA hat.
It was a red fucking hat. Was the entire Boston Red Sox Trump supporters?
I don't know, maybe.
I gotta tell you though, man, like one of the things, and not just because of our arguing and everything too, but like everyone talks about, and I'm not trying to bring this up because of the wrestling thing, but it's like, you know, there's always WCW versus WWE, and then there's like Burger King versus McDonald's, and there's all this shit, right? But like no one talks about the kid shows that are going to war. Remember at 10 o'clock when you were a kid? And, like, if you were home from school sick or something, you didn't know what the fuck to watch because you had fucking Dragon Tales. Ryan just brought up Dragon Tales.
If you're about to say Dragon Tales versus Jackie Chan Adventures,
no.
Like, okay, I was like, yeah.
Sorry.
Blue's
Clues, though.
Yeah.
Blue's Clues, I think, was a nice competition. Because literally, I don't know what to watch. Like, Blue's Clues for Dragon Tales, that's fucking amazing. And then you got Arthur versus Franklin. That was the case for me, guys.
I think Arthur won that one as much as Franklin's a better show.
Yeah. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yeah, Franklin's way fucking better.
Fuck Franklin.
Because Franklin, by the way,
Hey,
Which is weak ass. You know what? You know what? The thing is, you can easily beat a turtle's ass because their spine is right in their shell. You know, you're not supposed to knock on turtle shell because that blue literally killed them because their spine is there. Punch him in his fucking spine.
Nah,
dude,
beat his ass.
That's just stronger than you think.
But no, there's like
it not truly is. Go ahead and hit a turn on the back. See how long it lasts.
But no, like even like after those shows would air too, like even at 11 o'clock where like shit would get boring, you had like Little House and Pray for the Old People, whatever the fuck, maybe Price is Right or something like that, and then you had what Lurcurl said, dude. Like I remember like every fucking day when like dinner would start.
Jerry Springer.
Yeah, Jerry Springer and Ricky Lake and Montel Williams, like. Those three fucking talk shows. It was like, dude, who's gonna win? Like, it's Ricky Lake, it's Montel. I don't know. I want to support the women, but I want to support the black people. And Jerry Springer's just fucking crazy. So it's like, man, fuck equality. I just want to watch crazy people take the clothes off. So it's like, fuck.
Your favorite shows back to back, fucking Jerry Springer and Judge Judy.
Yeah,
Judge Judy was great.
Yeah,
Judy was the fucking greatest. Is it still going on, or is this syndication?
She just quit last year, I think.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, dude. And Judge Mathis still going on. When I was at Jets, like, fucking a month ago or whatever, we were watching Judge Mathis. It's like, oh, my God. And he looks good still, dude. Like, he looks young as shit. I was like, what the fuck? People wearing face masks in there. I was like, wow, that's fucking depressing. But,
yeah.
But, yeah, dude. Like, I don't know. I love that particular block of television.
There was a competition because there's so much stuff out there, and people fought for TV time. Because, again, you would watch it as long as it was on. I watched Captain Planet. I fucking hate that show, and I never liked it. I never liked a single episode. But I watched it because what else am I going to do when that fucking time slot was on? Everybody has a TV show they fucking hated and watched like 40 episodes of it. Yeah. Because it was on that time slot where they had nothing to do.
And it's funny, too, because someone brought this up. I think it was Emite, but he's like, yeah, look at
Caillou. Oh, yeah, Caillou!
Dude,
I don't understand. Okay.
Where's the hate from? Like, I don't understand so much hate.
He's such a little fucking crybaby ass bitch. Like, no, he's way worse than any other kid on TV. I literally had nephews, well, not nephews, but I literally had cousins here who would watch fucking Caillou, and the next thing you know, they would act up. And it was never with any other show. It was always fucking Caillou. Always fucking Caillou.
The whole chat's in agreement. It's like, this is crazy. I can't fucking believe this. Like,
I don't know what it is with this bald ass little motherfucker who makes kids as angry as fucking possible with his fucking screaming. But I'm glad he was stopped.
It's been an entire cultural renaissance of fuck Caillou and we hate him. I don't understand it. I never did. Captain Planet's a way worse show, but for some fucking reason we hate this fucking kid who's the mini Lex Luthor.
Actually, I like Captain Planet a lot.
Captain Planet's a terrible show.
Because Captain Planet was an
Earth, fire, water, air. Shit, we still have an ethnic minority. Heart.
Hey, but you know what? That's important to have heart and to
use
man,
that. I got all this oil. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna drop it on the shore instead of selling it for billions of dollars.
The thing is, though, is like when I look at something like that,
fuck those fish.
Because Captain Planet, for me, I think it was one of those things where it's like, hey, let's put education into that dumbass comic book bullshit that everyone's into, and it's like, wow, I can get my dumb comic book shit going on, but then also like, I don't know, become smart and know about shit. It's like fucking.
That show was terrible. I hated the environment for like 2 decades because of it.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I threw garbage in a fucking. I would actively throw trash into one of those like solar power compactors because I knew it would fuck it up. Legitimately, I hated the environment because of that show.
You're fucking insane.
That show was terrible. So like, fuck you, Captain Planet.
Jesus Christ.
Turn me into a fucking villain.
Oh, what you got? Someone's like, hey.
I got over it, but there was a long time where I fucking hated that show.
Jade, the fucking jet plane. I do remember this.
I cannot.
What the fuck is
this
that?
This fucking face. used to fucking
Oh,
scare
God!
the shit out of me, dude.
Dude,
Oh
I
my
didn't know
God.
this existed until
Look
like
at that.
a year ago. No, I didn't know this existed until Jet started showing this shit to me like a year ago. I thought this was fake.
That's fucking
No, that nightmare shit is real.
Okay, okay.
You keep fucking around, Captain Flash gonna turn your ass into a tree.
No. That's a real thing. Well, not real as a family. Okay. So it was a Funny or Die. They did this like a sketch series where they had an evil Captain Planet that said, "Fuck it." He's not just gonna, he's not gonna sit back and let people fight the best forever. He's gonna go and fuck around and just fight everybody that fucks his environment by turning you to a tree. You'll never guess who they got to play him.
Who?
Guess who you think they play as evil Captain
Kurt
Planet?
Russell. Like, I just fuck it.
That's a good one too, but I'll give you one more.
Tom Cruise.
Oh, the War Machine. I was trying to look. Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle. Look it up. Don Cheadle as Captain Planet. It is fucking wild.
No. Let me see this shit. I gotta see this.
It's like an hour worth of content.
Oh no, the fucking makeup.
It's so bad, but he's just an asshole where he's just turning people to trees and shit.
So, dude, I've seen this actually. I thought it was a Photoshop. I thought someone was fucking around. That was a meme.
No, I thought it was a meme too. I started watching them. It's fucking awesome.
Jesus Christ.
So like,
Captain Planet we truly need.
Who thought like looking at Captain Planet and just thought, oh yeah, John Cheadle.
I know.
It's the only time where he's actually been like good with comedy, because like I don't think he really has a comedic flair, but that it's like holy shit.
That's
like I was like, I hated Captain Planet. What am I showing to me? Because like Captain Planet's a fucking loser. He's never gonna be interesting. He's like, well, what if they did live action? I'm like, live action? I'll fucking shoot me. Like, no, they did it. I'm like, what? We started watching. I laughed my ass off the entire fucking time.
But somebody brought this up too. I think it was Ryan. Which thank you for the bits, by the way. He says, "Yo, dude, this fucking Word Girl." I never seen this.
Rush Hour 2? Why is Mauricio bring up Rush Hour 2 for something?
Because Don Cheadle's in Rush Hour 2.
Oh yeah, for like 2 fucking minutes. That doesn't count.
Yeah. No,
Word Girl is actually a pretty good show. Like for a kid show, that one's actually really good.
Yeah. As an educational show, she says that Word Girl is actually not too bad. Ryan brought this up, and I'd never seen this, but like, I didn't get into too much educational shows that weren't like the mainstays. I feel like everything was just kind of kowtow. Like Teletubbies came out when I was in 4th grade, and I was like, dude, what the fuck?
I never watched Teletubbies either.
My niece was into it, dude, and she did that. So, dude, my dad used to like burn floppy disks. Like, it was fucking ridiculous. So,
man, I don't know where that sentence was gonna end. My dad used to burn. I'm like, burn what, dude?
Like just Tinky Winky toys. Just like, yeah, fuck him.
That's what I thought that was gonna go. That's how I thought that was gonna go.
No, but like, so the thing that was weird for me is like every time I was into some shit, like Barney, my dad would be like, "Oh, well, you fucking gay, like that purple ass fucking gay dinosaur, or whatever," and like I couldn't ever like be into the shit I was into. And then my niece comes around, my dad got older and more chill and everything, so he would like download the songs, which I was like, "Dude, how the fuck you downloading songs? It's amazing. The computer can do this." And he would download the Teletubby songs. So my niece would come in there and he'd be like, "Tinky Winky Dipsy," and my dad would like leave because he's like, "I can't take this shit," but the fucking computer would play it on repeat. So I'm just like, my niece is just dancing around. You know how kids are, fucking dumb and shit. And she's just like, walking around with this stupid little person shit and her fucking plastic vacuum cleaner because they made toys like that.
Yeah, that always threw me off.
Yeah, and then they buy it for young girls versus young boys. Like, yeah, you start early. You got to clean the house.
The patriarchy.
But I just remember as a kid, like that song would haunt me. And then at the end of the fucking clip with the song, you'll hear Nunu, that vacuum cleaner, go. Like, why the fuck does a vacuum cleaner always fart? And then, like, all the Teletubbies will go, like, naughty noo. And it's like, dude, like, you're really teaching kids how to fucking make fart noises for fucking vacuum cleaners. Like, it doesn't even make any fucking sense.
I don't know why you saying naughty noo was so fucking funny.
Because that's all the Teletubbies. They don't talk the whole time. They got TVs in their stomachs and shit. It's fucking ridiculous. But then that fucking Teletubbies are just like, the one word they say, naughty noo. It's like, well, then stop feeding him so he stops fucking farting then. Shit. Anyways, that fucking show's ridiculous. Teletubbies is a ridiculous fucking show.
Someone brought up another show that was by the same creator, Teletubbies, that fucking Boobah shit.
Yeah, Tots TV and Boobah. Yeah,
that is.
So, Alan, that shit's creepy as fuck.
No, this isn't Garbage Pail Kids shit for your ass. This is fucking horrifying.
Oh man, what is this fucking? Is this Garbage Pail Kids?
This is Tots TV.
What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, dude. And then
They're
Boobah.
like 7 feet tall.
Let me look at this. This is not so bad.
Oh, this I actually remember. Because mostly the purple one. I don't fucking know why.
Dude,
I hate the chat right now because this is reminding me of Furbies.
Yep. Absolutely.
Legitimately,
These look like uncircumcised penises.
legitimately. I don't know if y'all remember what. I don't know how many people in the chat are old enough to remember what Furbies were. Furbies legitimately gave me nightmares.
Really?
Oh, straight up as a kid, that shit used to terrify me. It was the eyes, the never blinking eyes, and they were fucking huge, like 2/3 of the body. And for some fucking reason, someone decided to get me one as a fucking birthday present, and it was one of the talking ones. But it didn't do the happy-go-lucky hat. It would go, hi. I'm like, this is terrifying. Why would you give this to a child? So I just said, fuck it, I couldn't take it anymore. So I took the batteries out. And you think that would kill it? But those things had an internal charge for some fucking reason. So I kept talking after the batteries out. 10 minutes of the hammer stopped it.
Dude, my Furby didn't like
carrying the thing out. Oh my
Somebody
god.
in the chat, by the way, I think it was Miles. He says they look Among Us, and yeah, dude, I'm looking over here at the Booba, and like this looks weird and everything, but look at how scary the Among Us toys are. I think if we didn't have context that this is from a fucking video game and everything, this would scare the fuck out of me if I was a kid. This is terrifying. They look like Silent Hill enemies.
Them fucking boobas look way scarier. It's just those things look like babies being born.
Those are fine because that's the eyes. The eyes are the quickest way to get something to be extremely creepy or cute, and the distinction is very, very slim. Like I said, Furbies, but some crack addicts might think it's cute. That shit scared me. So watching Uncut Gems, I'm like, oh my god, don't remind me Furbies exist.
Oh man, dude. But no, I'm looking over here at my other bits that came in. Really quick, guys, I want to say thank you so much for the support and everything too. And if we did forget to actually answer any questions, ask anything you want to fucking do right now while we're going through all these things. But yeah, dude, the Booba shit looks fucking creepy, but like for me, is it bad that like I kind of want to eat these fucking things? Like it looks like gummy bears.
It looks like the Peeps.
You want to eat babies being born?
Well, no, I don't think.
I mean, there's an entire episode of Futurama about poplars.
Oh, okay. What's that fucking story? If it's not too long.
Oh no, it was they go to this random planet and they find this like fucking like pit filled with random bullshit, and like basically they look like chicken nuggets, and they start eating them because they're delicious, and they leave one of them out too long and it turns into an actual child, so they realize they've been eating the young of some random alien species.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
Fucking SWAT cats.
SWAT cats. I'm gonna look that up right now. Oh, go ahead.
I forgot what channel that was on, but it was basically just police officer cats.
See, that's a cool concept. That's a cool concept versus.
Oh my god, I remember this show.
Yeah.
This was the random weird fucking era where you had this Mummies Alive, that random dog a firefighter show, like all of these random fucking anthropomorphized animals. No wonder the fur movement had so much traction. Holy shit!
But over here, yeah, Super Fan want to show this really quick. I forgot what it's called.
What the fuck is this?
The Wiggles.
No, the Wiggles were live action. What the fuck is this?
I do not know. I mean, I could be wrong, Yasuba, if you can.
I was gonna say those look like Star Trek fucking characters, like the blue and red and yellow and shit like that. That's officer fucking colors. Like, what is this shit?
This isn't the Wiggles I remember.
Oh man, Lunatics Unleashed. That show, I love that show. I know everyone hates Lunatics Unleashed, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, dude. I don't know much about Lunatics Unleashed. I think you showed me the fucking like
pilot
opening or whatever. Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's fucking badass.
Oh, it's basically like let's take this is where everything had to be extreme. Look at that fucking title with the fucking poster. It was like everything had to be like to the max and extreme. So like all the characters, they would have like a meteor hits and they get all these powers based on the personalities in their show. I love the show because the coyote was super smart but also had regeneration powers. Like, he can regenerate from any fucking injury, and he also, and that was super fucking funny to me, because, he keeps getting murdered by the fucking Roadrunner, and the Roadrunner has super speed and GPS, so he's able to run really fast around the world, and also knows where he is, so he's always able to get back. It's fucking awesome.
Mighty Max, that's something Brightbird brought to me, too. I've seen this before, but I hated them.
Is this Nintendo? Whatever?
I believe so. I mean, because I remember, Sega Guy, too, right?
Oh, it's killing me right now. I feel like I know the name of it. Something Nintendo related.
Wait, can you go back to that picture?
Well, like right here.
Why is he wearing a manga hat?
No shit,
Okay, look,
I can't believe Franklin and Mighty Max are totally Trump supporters. That's pretty fucked up.
Well, Mighty Max makes sense because he's a blonde, Aryan race looking motherfucker.
Captain N, the Game Master, that's the one you're talking about.
Captain N, that's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah, but what was the Sega counterpart? Because I remember that was a thing too.
I don't fucking.
Or maybe it was an AVGN joke. Actually, I think I'm thinking of like an actual fucking joke.
Probably.
Like it's fucking canon.
Then again, it is also Sega, so it would have like surprised me that they shout out some bullshit to compete with Nintendo.
Like they always fucking do.
Like, this was the fucking because they shouted out all the consoles too. But this is the height of the console war, so it makes sense that they would probably do something.
But really quick, before we get out here, I do want to touch on something very, very quickly, and then we'll get out of here because I don't want to leave some of my friends waiting and shit. We gotta do some things, and I gotta do a Dropbox thing for Corey. So lots of stuff that Mr. Old Nick Diaz is fucking busy doing. Want to bring this up though, man. What do you feel about Everybody Hates Chris getting an animated reboot? All these other things I'm not gonna talk about because I don't give a fuck. I am very, very curious though about this idea that we could turn a sitcom basically into a fucking anime show.
What the fuck is that first one?
Shitzel and her pantser baby?
Yeah,
what the hell is that? Adaptation? That would imply that there's some sort of like prior source material. Sorry, you want to skip over that?
I mean, because I looked at it and I said, I see Shitzel and I'm like, okay, I'm immature about I'm like, shit. And so I'm fucking dumb. But I don't know.
Another show where we take a fucking religion that's foreign to the the North Americas, and we start making fun of them because their language is weird. Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, Israeli, so I think that's cool. Speaking of Israeli, I actually watched something called Losing Alice. That's what it's called. It's on Apple TV Plus. And that's a pretty good show, and it's all in Israeli. It's not called Israeli language; it's something else, but it's within those range. But the thing is, though, is like that show is really, really good, and the way they shoot things, as far as a TV show goes, is completely different than shit that I'm used to as far as like American TV. So I really like that. Hebrew, thank you. Yes, I'm a fan. Really appreciate it. But yeah, it's a really good show. I think they just finished their 6th episode like a month ago. So I mean, hey, I don't know if Shit Seal is gonna be cool. I don't know anything about this.
It's gonna be some garbage comedy where they're gonna exploit the fact that people don't really understand this culture or this language, so they're just gonna basically make jokes about it, like they do a lot of times with different, especially Americanized versions of it, where it's like that's one of the reasons I hate watching those fucking shows because it's like, oh, look how crazy these foreigners are. It's like, no. This is just white people shenanigans, but with a foreign twist to it.
Yeah, but I mean, the main thing I want to talk about here, though, for obvious reasons, because I actually give a fuck about this and know what this is. Oh, Office Mike, or Office Nike, whatever your name is. Thank you for actually being over here and hanging out with us. He says, thoughts on Bryce Hall boxing and Austin McBroom. I have no idea who those two people are, but if it's like some celebrity boxing thing, I used to love the Tough Man Championships way back in the day. I think it was like around 1998 to 2004, and those were really, really funny. I remember like Danny Bonaducci was like beating people's ass and shit. So like, yeah, I love that stuff, and if it's anything like that, I will definitely watch. But thank you for following or hanging out with us at least. And this thing though over here, I think it's a weird concept to turn a sitcom into an animated show, but at the same time, when people get really ridiculous with the storylines. If it's I said that weird. If it's animated, I think that you can really go full force with these crazy ass storylines that would never happen in live action because it would cost too much, and plus it would just be fucking acted terribly. But Jet, what are your thoughts on Everybody Hates Chris becoming animated, and is there any other shows that you think might benefit from that particular idea?
So I can't think of any other shows that can benefit from the idea because there's probably a lot, but nothing's coming to mind. But the thing is, this show actually becoming animated, that's a pretty interesting choice because it can work because a lot of the subject matter that they talk about probably could do better in animated form. Hell, like the Boondocks.
Yeah, exactly. And you can really like kind of over exaggerate people's reactions to things, like especially the mom, like. The mom in Everybody Hates Chris can be really fucking crazy sometimes, but it's live action. She can only do so much. She's not a fucking athlete or something.
I also need to see what the animation will look like, too. Because if it's more of like a style that's close to the Boondocks or something else like that, I think this would actually do pretty well because, a lot of the subject matter would be a lot of, I hate to say it, fun to actually watch animated because there's a lot of episodes of the Boondocks that are kind of like that. Like, hell, dealing with the fucking racist teacher. That was an episode of Boondocks. That was fucking hilarious.
Oh, man, that was great.
Yeah, but there's a show that I want to bring up, but then I'll ask you next, Alan. But, like, for me, I think a really cool thing that would be a cool thing to do is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because I feel like they get really crazy with certain things that happen on the show, especially when they throw Jazzy Jeff outside the fucking door and they use that goddamn dummy or whatever. That shit's hilarious. And Will is already so crazy with his voice. Sometimes, like... he makes his jokes physically more funny just by his talking. Imagine he was doing voice acting, and they just fucking have Will lose his mind. And plus, too, you can bring back Dr. Phil, or what's his name? Uncle Phil.
You got it.
No, Uncle Phil. I fucked up. But yeah, You know, you could bring him back and have someone do voice. I mean, not to bring
Oh,
him
that
down.
no, for that exact reason you can't do that again. That'd
No?
be disrespectful. Like, nah, you'd have to do like a sequel series or something, where it's like, oh yeah, we don't have to acknowledge the fact that Uncle Phil, because he passed away, and he was also an iconic voice actor as well. So it's like that would
I
look like
guess.
disrespectful.
See, but and that's what I get worried about too, because certain characters are really good. Like for instance, I would have been cool with like John Witherspoon having someone do his voice for Friday, like or playing him. You know, I mean, I don't know. Like people die, man,
Well,
and these characters.
yeah, I know, but it's
because
like
of that.
if you try to just recapture that same character, people are gonna look upon it, especially the fans, going, "Yo, what the fuck?" But if they're like, "Hey, they acknowledge the character's past, they give them a passing within the show, and they get another character there," sure, or do a complete reboot where it's a different show with different people.
I also put Fan says, but F is for Family is apparently based on comedian's life. Yeah, it's Bill Burr's life that was kind of based on, and like for me, I feel like that was done pretty well, but they don't really use animation to a nicer effect. I think they use animation to kind of get away with doing some really, really intense shit that if it was live action, it'd probably be canceled because of like, oh, you guys went too far with that. She's not supposed to say that, blah, blah, blah. But they don't get like really creative with the physical stuff.
And but that's what's gonna happen. Like the Boondocks shouldn't have existed. Like
Yeah.
what it does with its animation and what it does with its storytelling and the level of jokes it's going for is it's never gonna be replicated again, because it was like, fuck it, we're gonna talk shit about Tyler Perry, and we're gonna talk shit about black stereotypes. We're also gonna talk shit about white stereotypes and basically every stereotype in between. But also we're gonna have ridiculous fight scenes. Like we're gonna put so much budget in every fucking episode. Like it might as well be the equivalent to if we made a movie. Like that show, like the amount of stuff they put in there, I'm surprised it got as many seasons as it did, because that show must have been fucking expensive.
And another show I want to bring up too, as far as this goes, but I like what Fat Albert did. You know what I mean?
Fuck.
Like, I know like the whole thing with Bill Cosby and shit. Is like,
Oh, not even that. I just never thought the show was good.
I didn't love it, but it's just like, it's not like super boring. Every time I've watched it, I've been like, oh, I guess I'll sit back and check out the whole episode.
Me, Roxy, and Ganja watched the movie with Cedric, actually, if he's still in the chat. We watched it like a couple months ago. It's terrible, but that's about it, actually.
But okay, so I'm gonna go to you now, man. What do you think? Is there like a sitcom that you feel like would, benefit from an animated like reboot or a continuation? There's not a lot to choose from. So.
Yeah, I know, because the first thing that popped in my head is Everyone Loves Raymond. I don't know
you
why.
could just be abusive and animated for it. Deborah.
Oh yeah, no, he's a fucking asshole to Deborah. Like straight up, like Deborah was way better than he was as a person.
Yeah.
The fact that she put up with this bullshit in his family was supposed to be the running joke of that show, but I watched every episode going, divorce him.
Yeah.
Take the kids, run.
Yeah, dude. But no, man. I guess I could see that being the case too. But then again, it's like it's so based on the family. I guess with the kids, they can have much shit going on. But once again, too, as you said about the Uncle Phil thing, those kids, one of them killed themselves. I think they both did. They're both dead now.
What?
So it's like you can't fucking have
What?
that. Yeah, did you know that?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking dark, dude. And then
Damn.
Marie's dead and Frank's dead.
Did everyone dead?
A lot of motherfuckers are dead, and Brad Garrett's over there beating people up in Fargo and shit. Like,
Yeah, that's
Robert.
pretty good at Fargo.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. It's fucking crazy. Man, we got dark again. Life sucks, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it is what it is. But really quick, we're gonna get the fuck out of here. And I normally would be like, hey, we're gonna leave like right this second. But before we go, I gotta get your opinion on something really quick because I know you want to talk about this. You watched this movie with Tom Holland, and it wasn't Chaos Walking. So congratulations on
Man,
that fucking
I still got to text my buddies. We're watching Chaos Walking this weekend.
Jesus Christ, don't do it. But this fucking thing over here, though, Cherry. I didn't hear any good or bad about this stuff. Right away, I'm sold on this aspect over here. Just like, I have a gun. This is robbery. Pretty cool shit there. But what you thought about this, man? And why did you watch it? Did you expect a bad movie? How'd you feel?
Well, no, because we just finished watching a bunch of fucking movies, and the night was about to finish, and then we just saw, I think we saw like a post about it, and we're like, hey, you want to watch it? They're like, well, we heard nothing but like bad things, so fuck it, let's check it out. And we started watching it, and we saw right away what some people's criticisms were. Like, it's like, oh, it's it's letting you know, hey, the Russos made this, and Tom Holland, and all that shit. Yeah, whatever. As we're watching it, it's very it does it very, very stylized. Like you could see like there's words popping up on screen and the colors they use. It's very much like we're gonna do as much style in various scenes with zoom ins as possible. But it doesn't keep it up for the entire film. And the one thing that I started to really appreciate about this movie is it's heavily it's basically based on some writer's life, and it's heavily focuses on drug use. Like like literally, I've never seen a movie. I've never seen Requiem for a Dream, so don't worry about posting that 100 times. But I've never seen a movie with such rampant drug use throughout the entire fucking runtime, like start to fucking finish. And the one thing I liked about it immediately is it's not pretty. You know how when you watch a movie, any movie that has drugs, it's always like drugs are the coolest thing in the world. Shoot up, have fun. It makes the parties 100 times better. You're the coolest guy in the world. 10 minutes, then 10, 15 minutes later, drugs are bad, kids. They ruin your life. Like it's every single fucking drug movie. This isn't it. Like when he's on drugs, like in that scene they're showing in the trailer, it's like, yeah, you know, things are a bit more colorful. He's a bit more giggly, whatever. But it's not like, oh, it's the greatest thing in the world. It's just like, fuck it. He's just having fun. He's just doing whatever. And you see how toned out he is. It's not like suddenly the party's 100 times better. But you start to see where it's like his life, he uses a lot of this stuff to basically compensate or just put up with the fact of what he's feeling inside. Because as soon as something bad happens, he just either jumps to drugs or something ridiculously stupid, like joining the fucking military. And that's when the story really picks up. Because he joins the military, and that's where it still has its stylistic stuff, but it tends to ease up on to tell it's like, hey, this is what it was like during the Iraq War and how fucked up it was. This is what it was like coming back. This is how we got into way more drug use, way more heavier drug use, like needles and dope and all that shit. And none of it is pretty. All the drug use in this movie is ugly, and you don't see that a lot. It's always supposed to be pretty and crazy until that one moment in the movie. But with this, it's like, you know, it's ugly, and I really appreciate that. But at the end of the day, the best thing about this movie, because I can go into it's not a drug Avengers PSA. I'm glad you brought that up. The best thing to bring about this movie is it gets sold on his performances, particularly by Tom Holland. Because you know how in the two Spider-Man movies, Tom Holland gets that one moment to show he can act, you know, where he can cry a little bit. He is doing so many different ranges of emotions, from the typical Spider-Man, you know, comedy, oh, what's going on, to he is pissed off. He is crying. He is uncontrollable. He's going through PTSD because of the war. He is showing his full fucking range in this the whole time. Like this whole movie, basically is on his back, and he pulls it off better than I've ever fucking seen. Like this is one of those movies where I think the criticism comes from the fact that this isn't a superhero movie. It's the Russo brothers, and they decided to make a more down to earth movie and have a little bit of craziness instead of like, oh, we're gonna do fucking Endgame Part 2. It's like, no, they wanted to do a different fucking movie based on this writer's life.
Yeah, I'm kind of sold on it, to be honest, because it does sound pretty cool, and the fact that Apple TV was able to have so much, because I mean, this looks like a fucking like theatrical release of a movie. Like this looks really good, and it's just on Apple TV Plus, so like they must have felt some kind of way about like just the quality of the writing or the acting or whatever the case may be. And that's pretty cool. So yeah, you sold me on this shit, and honestly, I'm glad to hear that Tom Holland got a chance to actually showcase something, because you know, I don't like him in Spider-Man, but it's not his fucking fault. He's working with bullshit. So
100%. Yeah. This kind of shows where it's like when he's given stuff, he's able to really showcase it. But there are legitimate criticisms. I think some of the time where they try to go like crazy with the filmmaking and like we're gonna have like random words on screen and we're gonna change the color palette for no reason is distracting. And in all honesty, we started laughing when we probably shouldn't have. But the number one thing that made me burst out laughing is like they'll show the drug use, and when there's a very somber moment, they'll play opera music like Mozart, and it's like it's so out of place where he's like shooting up, it goes no 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 no.
Oh god!
And I'm just like, we're laughing our asses off, but this is a really somber scene, like somebody just died or his life is going down the drain, and they're playing the loudest Mozart with opera in the background. I'm like, this is the worst music choice you could pick. Like, holy shit.
Jesus Christ, yeah. I hate when editing's done in that particular way. I think that even Working for a Drink does that a couple times. I mean, not ridiculous music, but just tonally a little bit different. And I guess what they're trying to go for, I guess, sometimes is like, you know, hey, like, it's good and bad put together. You know, the opera music is probably trying to tell you, like, oh, this is how fucking great he feels and how formal and how fucking whatever he feels.
It's not about, like, it's trying to invoke emotion, but it's more about, like, look how he's essentially destroying his life. Because at no point in the movie does it ever say drugs are cool. Like, do you see very early on where it's like, oh, it's a little colorful and he's having a bit of fun, but it's never like, it's weird. It's almost doing the opposite. Where throughout most of the movies, like you see how much drugs, like it's his own fault for a lot of the problems, but you also see how much the drugs just fueled that and how he was ruining people's lives. Like he is a piece of shit with a heart of gold. Where it's like, you see, he doesn't want to hurt people, but he also doesn't stop himself. So you're like, holy shit, you're ruining that girl's life. And he's like, oh, fuck it, I'll stick around. Whatever, you're having fun. Ah, fuck, I fucked up her life again. She's OG. Like it's bad. You'll either love him or hate him by the end of this. And I don't think the movie cares if you like him or hate him.
Yeah, Mike thinks you're gorgeous, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
Who?
Mike in the chat.
Which Mike?
I don't know if that's a...
Oh, yeah, it's my buddy! He's the one I watched it with. We were watching it at the time, and I was looking at him going, man, this movie's way... Like, we're both agreeing, like, this movie's way better than it has any right to be. But he was the one that was actually... He brought up the better points of, like, why people don't fucking like this. Is because it's not a fucking... It's the Russos. In his own words, the Russos are trying to be serious filmmakers like Martin Scorsese now.
Yeah, man, and... Yeah, it just sucked that, you know, even the Russos probably, they're like, hey, we're trying to give you something, and you guys keep, you know, painting us as a fucking comic book guys. Like, we're trying to be some grown-ups over here, goddammit. But,
yeah, and I think that's really, like, affecting a lot of people's viewing of the movie, but if you just step back and just watch it as it is, it's a pretty good movie where it basically breaks it up into, like, chapters like a book, where it's, like, the prologue where you deal with the character you're first meeting him. And it does a lot of, not necessarily Deadpool stuff, but it does a lot of, like, almost a narration where he talks to the camera. It's like, yeah, man, the thing about drugs is, the thing about this is, the thing about that is, oh, man, that was kind of really fucked up. I really hated the work because of this. Like, it feels like you're essentially, it's like an audiobook almost, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like when you're actually when you're actually watching, it's like, yeah, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. And the chapter breaks make a lot of sense. So it was just watching, you're like, oh, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. And yeah, someone says, like, it's 2.5+ hours. But the chapter breaks are pretty good. So if you just want to take a break at, like, chapter whatever, the movie is like, okay, you know what? Cool, take a break.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool, too. That's a cool concept. You know what I mean? It turns something where, like, you can watch like a show. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool, too.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, what would you rate this, man? And what are some last things that you can say about this?
I think people should check it out. I think that if you're a situation where drug use has affected you personally, you might be extremely... it might be extremely sensitive to this because they are very aggressive with how much drugs. Like there's so much drug use in this movie that I don't think a single 5-minute period passes this movie without someone shooting up heroin.
Jesus,
like legitimately. Every time, and it's casual as fuck. It's not like the movie gets dark and somber and slow motion. It's like, shit, let me shoot up. And you're like, fuck. Like that's how casual it will be for a junkie. And you see how much this fucks over his life. There's a really amazing sequence where he robs a bunch of banks, and he's surprised how easy it was. And I thought my buddy's like, yeah, crime is really easy in a small town. Surprisingly fucking easy. But yeah, no, this is one of the things where it's like I legitimately want to see Chaos walking because I want to see what he does with a bad script. Like I want to see what he does with the complete bullshit. Just see if he can still pull off some version of acting. But this is one of those ones where it's like I want to see the devil all the time. Because it's another one of the movies where he's being more adult, but people say good things about it. So I'm curious to see what that is. But I recommend watching it. I think you'll enjoy it more than you want. I think you'll laugh at some of the parts where you shouldn't. But I doubt people walk out this movie and go, oh, this is bullshit. But if you're expecting Spider-Man 4, this isn't it.
Yeah. But what you call it? Rating out of 5, by the way.
3.5. I think
okay.
Some of the stylistic choices were a bit too comedic. And I think a lot of the opera was a bit too on the nose of, drugs are bad. Like it was too much for me. Where I'm just trying not to chuckle when they're using it the chorus because I'm just imagining the opera singer in the background just losing her mind, and I'm like, I wonder if she knows what movie this is for.
But yeah, man, no, I do want to watch this though. If I ever get some free time, you know, I'll watch this. Not even just to review, just to fucking watch, because I do want to see shit that's taken more seriously. I do want to see more serious storylines in adult movies. You know, kind of come into my influx of watching shit because I'm watching a lot of comic book stuff. I'm watching a lot of stuff that's not so serious, and I think I need this to kind of reset my palate sometimes and make me kind of appreciate film. But moving on though, we're gonna get the fuck out of here, guys. There's a lot of things I want to touch on. We're gonna talk about Undertale and things like that too, but I'm gonna bring that up tomorrow. And tomorrow might be a pretty fucking long show. I'm going to be honest, guys. But I'm going to do my best to make it as absorbable and digestible as I possibly can. But if I can't, I'm sorry. But with that said, dude, tell them where to find you over there at the Metropolis Collective as I get things going on the back end.
Alrighty then. So I'm assuming the move out at some point is going to put my Facebook and Twitter. Check those both out. That's where you're more likely to find me more than anywhere else. But if you follow me on Facebook, you'll notice that I drop a lot of stuff in the Metropolis Collective, where we have stuff like the Newness Podcast for all your K-pop needs. They just released an episode. They released an episode Sunday, and they've been very consistent. So most likely the next couple of days, basically check back every Sunday with me or on the page. Drop a like there so you get the notifications. Content Corner does this stuff every single Tuesday. They do the live stream. We're gonna do a new episode of the Arcade soon. As far as the Illuminati is still on. They're still on break for now. We're waiting for God to get back. Then we're going to do some discussions as far as what the future is going to be. So the show is on hold for now, but we're going to be adding some more stuff to there. So be sure to check that out. There's a new horror thing on there that the craziest person I fucking know is doing, and that's not Gary, as much as you think.
Yeah, so no, I want to check that out too. And the more horror, the better for me, dude. I fucking love horror. It's one of my favorite little genres of nerdom that I get into. But with that said, though, guys, we're getting the fuck out of here. So thank you very much. You guys are the shit. We love you very much. We appreciate the support, and the music is now playing. That's what I was trying to do. I'm not just being nice for the fuck of it. I was trying to.
Are you raiding?
Huh?
You raiding?
Absolutely, I'm raiding that Moon Metaphysics. Or was there somebody else you had in mind?
No, right that Moon stuff. Might as well.
Go to Moon. And Moon, by the way, if you watch this after we raid you, dude, I love you. Thank you for shouting us out as much as you do. You're a funny motherfucker. I love your stuff. But with that said, guys, boom, the raid is now happening. You guys take care. Stay toasty. Follow us on that YouTube. You guys saw the link in that fucking thing. Follow us on YouTube. I really appreciate that. Goodbye. Stay toasty. And, yeah, that's it. I was going to say something mean about Alan, but I'm not.
I mean, you usually do, so.
He's a bitch, though.